Fresh juice, no sugar, no water.
The van has been a rockin'. You've become a wheel sniffer, also known as the City of the Dead. It's like some scene out of a horror movie.
It really is, isn't it?
It's a fascinating place. We're Marion and Chris, and we've been travelling full time since May 2018.
It is the best atmosphere ever! Whilst attempting to drive around the world in Trudy, our home on wheels, this happened.
All British travellers abroad are advised to return now.
As borders closed around us, we decided to wait it out in Turkey until we were able to continue our adventure east. Good morning. This morning we are leaving Kaş and we're going to be heading about an hour along the coast to the town of Demre.
We are. Before we go, somebody spotted on the video that I have a toilet roll holder.
I think it's genius actually.
I thought I'd share it. Thank you very much, my love.
There you go.
I have a bungee cord and it just holds them. So when I buy a pack of, if you buy a pack of 4, you run out really quickly. So I buy a pack of 6 or 8. And then what I do is I hang them on there.
Genius.
I've got a toilet roll holder.
So for those of you that commented saying that we are the cause of the toilet roll shortage in the UK, we only have 6 of them. In fact, there's only 5 left because we used one.
And in fact, in Turkey, it's the best place to buy toilet roll. There's lots of it.
That's it. Okay, let's hit the road. So nice, the weather is blue today. It's been so windy over the last couple of days. We've been blown about a bit and the van has been a rockin'.
It has. And we've met up with a couple of lovely other travellers and we should be linking in with them a little bit further along the south coast, so we'll tell you all about them more. But we're feeling really inspired, aren't we, and like excited.
We are.
We've
been kind of thrashing out the plans. We've really enjoyed our time in Kaş. It's definitely one of those places we would recommend staying. Everything about it, just a really nice town with a nice seafront, nice restaurants, and not too big. It's still got quite a lot of sort of traditional atmosphere. I wasn't expecting to come around the corner this morning and see so many snow-covered mountains. We did hear that Antalya was one of those regions in the world where you can swim in the sea and then the same day in the afternoon, a couple of hours drive later, you can actually go skiing. How many places? I don't know any other place in the world you can do that. I'm sure there are.
Comment below.
There you go, let us know if there's other places you know like that, but that's quite unique. Hot and cold all in the same area.
I know, the sea is so turquoise blue.
I mean, I'm in a t-shirt looking at snow.
Yeah.
So we just stopped, we've just seen a sign saying water. And it looks wet, it's going to work.
Oh.
Yay! Let's fill her up. The chores. Okay, that's all done. We're all filled up. It was actually the fastest water filling session we have had. The water pressure was really good. So we're just arriving into the town of Demre.
Well, right here.
Right here. And that takes us down to the town centre. That looks like a car park.
It looks like a car park and it quacks like a car park. It's a car park.
We've arrived in Demre, parked up, but on the way here we could smell a brake burning smell, and Marianne's saying that the handbrake, which we got fixed in Fethiye, now goes all the way up. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not too bad.
I'm sniffing the brakes and I'm sniffing the wheels.
Of course you are. You've become a wheel sniffer.
I never thought I'd be a wheel sniffer.
They're quite hot. That's quite hot, that one. They're all hot, but then they're going to be hot because the brakes have been on.
I think we'll be fine.
We've arrived in the town centre of Demre, and the first impression is it's really nice. It's quite quiet today, but they've got this wonderful high street, and it's all beautifully clean and maintained. And we're just going to go and have a little look around the shops and just see what's about here before we head to a little special place that this town is famous for. Merhaba.
We've been parked up on the outskirts of Kaş while camping, and one of my favourite bits about coming back into town is mooching around all the shops and seeing what's there. We don't tend to stay in the town because obviously it's really noisy and parking, so every village or every town has got something different.
I love the way you can see the old with the new, like the old wooden building here on quite a modern street now with the mosque towers behind. The blue sky looks absolutely wonderful. We've arrived on the main square here in Demre. Demre is located on the south coast of Turkey in the Antalya region, somewhere in between sort of Kalkan and Antalya. There's a lot of Turkish flags and memorabilia up being displayed at the moment, because I'm pretty sure when we were in the car park we celebrated like Turkish National Day, and it's about this time of year. You can see how windy it is today from looking at the flags.
The great thing about dipping into a town that you can pick up bits and pieces. I'm actually looking for some cream for Chris's neck, some sort of like soothing thing because he's still got his crick on his neck, although the update from Tim is the mattress for our van is being made, which is great.
So walking around Demre, you see a lot of this. So when we recently visited Patara, you will remember that we said St. Nicholas was born in Patara. Demre is also famous for something about St. Nicholas. Yes, he lived here back in the 4th century, and this is where he preached, where his church was. You can see it behind us, and that's exactly where we're going now.
Woohoo!
So entry into the church is 50 Turkish lira, which is about £5. And for an extra 40 TL you can get an audio guide, which just gives you that little bit of extra information. Don't be alarmed when they give you the audio guide, because it's a phone. Whether they ask for a driving license, a passport, your ID, they keep it in the booth. When you finish, you just hand the phone back and get your ID back.
Otherwise it would be a very good phone for 40 TL.
Exactly.
And the good thing about the audio guide is there are clear numbers around and about, so you know which button to press on the audio guide.
In fact, they give you a map.
This is one of the audio guide numbers that I was telling you about, and they're right next to what it's discussing and all the information that it's giving. The thing that is absolutely blowing my mind here though is the floors. The floors are absolutely incredible. I'm actually going to kneel down on the floor to show you this. These are all individual little bits of marble and stone that have been cut out and shaped to create these fantastic mosaics. Absolutely incredible. The dedication and time to make this is insane, and it goes all the way along the floor. We've come in this corridor here, and there are 4 crypts. There is this one which is very elaborate and has a lot of detail on it, and then there's 3 more basic ones just here.
We've walked into the main chapel area here. I generally am blown away. Can you imagine that St. Nicholas actually preached here? And looking around, it really is a blast from the past. The detail on the floors, the walls, the ceilings. It's a fascinating place. And for the age of it, it is very well preserved.
Chris told me to get off the floor because he couldn't understand why I was staring at the floor, but it really is detailed. It's incredibly well maintained and looked after, and there's a protective roof up there with this scaffolding to keep the elements from attacking the stonework.
That was fantastic, and definitely recommended to have a walk round. We remembered to get Marianne's driving license back. Good job. We didn't drive off with the audio guide around our neck.
This is the first time I've seen this. They've got a little machine where you can put in 1 tier, which is 10 pence, and it releases some dog food here. How cool is that?
There's a lot of dog food.
There's a lot of dog food.
I want to see if it works. Because there's a lot of dog food. You ready?
Yeah.
Cemre Belediyesi sokak hayvanlarına gösterdiğiniz duyarlılık için teşekkür eder.
How cool is that? Oh, that's very cool. It's like a gift that just keeps giving to the dogs, and it's obviously got dog food that's safe for cats or cat food that's safe for dogs. And there's a solar panel on top, so I'm assuming that's what keeps the electric going, or maybe it just lights up at night. Who knows? But whatever the reason, there's a solar panel. I'm absolutely delighted that there is a machine like that right next to where Father Christmas came, lived and gave.
Here's another wonderful example of an old building amongst new buildings. I love the look of that. That's absolutely amazing.
With the handmade bricks.
Yeah, old handmade bricks in a little balcony there. So just walking back to Trudy, we saw this sign. It makes us realise how much further we have to drive, because as the crow flies, it's 9,210 kilometers to Tokyo, and the other way it's 8,468 kilometers to New York. We've got a bit of driving to do, love.
Uh-oh. Back at Trudy now, and we were just discussing the legend that is St. Nicholas, Father Christmas. Looking up online, there are 2 stories. The first story that I'm going to tell you is that apparently there was a gentleman who lived here in Demra. He had 3 daughters, and he couldn't get them married because he couldn't afford the dowry. And St. Nicholas allegedly snuck into their house, their family home, in the middle of the night and left 3 purses of money for the dowry. That's one legend.
So the second story goes like this. It's the same man with the same 3 daughters with the same financial problem. But this time he throws some coins down the man's chimney at night. Some of the coins land in some socks that were hanging by the fireplace to dry. That's the story I prefer. That sounds cool. So we've just driven a couple of kilometers north of St Nicholas's Church and we've arrived at the Myra Antichetti. It's famous here for, there's some ruins, a theatre and some famous Lycian tombs. But this car park we've just stayed in, which is actually free, we've jumped out and there's just like so much fruit. Look, this is the first bananas I've seen growing in Turkey. There's massive chickens and then there's lots of oranges. Look at this, look right here.
And all the bananas.
How nice is that? I can't believe all the bananas are growing. And there's a castle thing at the top there by the looks of it. Looks a bit of a walk. Oh, see the tombs in the rocks there, the Lycian tombs.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go and have a little look and see what this is about. And then we're probably going to drive down to the beach to find somewhere to park tonight. We've got the solar parked up in the window here facing the sun so it charges while we're out.
We've just noticed as well, right opposite the free parking here at the Myra Antique car parking place, there's water as well. So if you're coming in your van and you need to top up, right by the entrance there's a lovely tap with fresh water.
Entrance into the site is 45 TL, which is about £4.50, unless, as we say, you have a museum card and then it's included. As soon as you come in, you can see all the tombs carved into the side of the cliffs here. Of course we found the resident puppy. This is a very impressive looking amphitheatre. One of the best preserved ones we've seen, I think, and I haven't seen any with these massive archways. You can just imagine horses coming through back in the day. I think this would have been the stage somewhere here.
It's really nice to come out and have a walk around. Sometimes when we're in the van just driving, it's really important just to come out and stretch our legs and spend some time together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We always use these times.
Filming days are actually like off days. Oh, filming days are like off days because we just go out, have fun, eat, and spend quality time with each other. And you get to join us. Otherwise, we're in the van editing, and with weather like this today, we try and do the work on the rainy days, but it's nice today.
And some people have asked, how do we actually plan our routes? And we take suggestions from you guys. You'll message us and say, oh, you have to see this, you have to see that. So we have an e-map that we pin points on, and we just mosey along from one place to another, don't we? And we just enjoy.
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
It's about to pick up pace, I think. But
yeah.
Oh, nearly at the top. Oh, the dog beat us up. How did you do that? Wow. Look at that. So we had this great big discussion on should we just walk up the steps of the amphitheatre. Myra was like, no, go back down and go round because it doesn't go anywhere. And we've ended up back at the top of the amphitheatre.
It's true.
We're here.
We're here.
But what a view. I don't know how many people this seats, but it's definitely a big one. The area around Demre, there's lots of farming and polytunnels growing vegetables, and from the top here you can really see how many there are on this side of the town. Ooh. So there's a staircase we're going to see. We can go a little bit higher. I'm not sure whether it leads to some of those tombs at the top, but we'll give it a go. So right at the top there's a little tomb carved into the rocks here. There is a cave. I don't know if it goes anywhere. No, stops there.
I saw some of these earlier in the amphitheatre. Is it just me, or are these like a little bit freaky? I think if I had those carved into my walls, I would move. What do you think?
It's like some scene out of a horror movie.
It really is, isn't it? I suppose because it was a theatre, they have sort of like some kind of
artistic flair.
Yeah, some flair, some mask of drama and tragedy, but nope, not my cup of tea.
We've seen quite a few Lycian tombs as we've driven down the coast of Turkey. They're still impressive, carved out of the rocks. Here in Myra, these tombs are also known as the City of the Dead. That's a little bit spooky. So we're back to the car park. We thought we'd get a couple of orange juice.
Fresh juice,
Freshly squeezed. Are these the oranges grown here?
Yeah, from here. From garden, Mira garden.
Oh, amazing.
Mira orange garden.
Beautiful.
Fresh juice, no sugar, no water.
All natural.
Only orange.
Only orange.
Best orange.
You just can't beat freshly squeezed juice, especially when it's grown right next door.
Oh, super.
Oh, it's delicious. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you, my friend.
Open and eating, very good.
It's good eating.
Yeah.
Okay, teşekkürler.
Oh.
Görüşürüz.
Görüşürüz, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's so nice.
I said they were so tasty and sweet.
He gave you a couple extra.
He did.
How lovely.
Anything coming?
Edge forward a bit. That will play. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So we've jumped back into Trudy, and it's that time of day when we need to go and find somewhere to park up for the night. So we're going to head towards the beach because we always like to sleep on the seafront if we can. And apparently Demra has a nice seafront. So let's go and have a look. Ah, we can see the sea. We're down at the seafront. So now we'll just have a look. See where's nice to park up. So there's lots of options down here. There's lots of parking spaces. There's a couple of little restaurants dotted along, but most of them are closed. The sea's looking beautifully blue. Wild camping isn't a problem here in Turkey. You know, there's lots of spaces by the side of the road that we could sleep. So it's just finding one that gives us a nice view and looks flat and is slightly off the road. There we go. That'll do, Ted. So I think this is a lovely spot for the night. We've managed to get Trudy flat. We've got nice views over the ocean, and it's going to be a good place to rest up tonight. Well, I wasn't expecting to come round the court. Start that again, I can't talk. This one here in Myra, So when we recently visited Patara, you will remember that we said St. Nicholas was born in Patara. What the hell is that?